Man, is this something great? Cal Adomitis, he's Pitt's long snapper. He also introduced an initiative yesterday. And, like when we were this age, Chris, I don't know if we were doing things to
No,
try
I
to
was a
change the
disaster
world.
at this age.
But Cal's Pitt's long snapper, and he's introduced a personal campaign to raise money for Children's Hospital yesterday. Cal, tell us all about this and how it came to be, because a lot of people, I turned on the news last night, it's on all three news stations. People are so excited about this. How did this happen in your brain, man?
Yeah, so I mean, it was really just the product of a couple people getting excited about a cool idea. Something way back in my early years at Pitt, my roommate Owen Drexel actually mentioned like, "Oh man, how much money would it take for us to cut your hair?" And then over the years, he kind of goofed with me about that. And then this following spring, with like some of the NIL stuff, we were like, "Well, we could really use my hair to like raise money for a good cause, and do something good." And then during camp, talked to Celeste, who's our coordinator of all our community service, and was like, "Hey, is this something that we can make happen? Raise some money and shave my head and do something good." And she was like, "Absolutely." And everyone we talked to after that was just as excited about it, and it just kind of took off from there.
When's the last time you had a haircut?
Last time I had a haircut, probably the winter of my senior year at Central Catholic, so
Oh my
like
God.
2017.
So 4 years since you've had a haircut, and
Yep.
if we could just raise enough money, we can watch it all. Watch it happen all over again.
And I'll do it with a smile on my face. I can't wait to do it. I can't wait to.
So it's Cal's kids. It's to benefit Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh Foundation. You're trying to raise $94,000 before the end of the football season. I just clicked on the link right now. We'll tweet it all out. We'll get it out there. We're here to help you with this initiative because we like when the city comes together. Well, you're at 31,000 right now, and we're not even I don't know, we're not even 24 hours in. So you've got a pretty good Kickstarter going where you're essentially a third of the way.
Get the Clippers ready.
But
That's what he's saying.
you don't plan on stopping at 94,000, right?
Absolutely not.
When you went, and now this is, and I don't know if you know, and it's not important, but it's personal to me what you're doing with this situation with kids with cancer. When you talk to people, though, at Children's, and then you talk to people afflicted with this, does it become like, wow, this isn't just money going somewhere. This is helping somebody who's had a rough time. How much more does it mean when you see families and kids going through stuff?
It means so much, and it's really the reason for it. And I was talking to Celeste about it yesterday as well, where it takes all the pressure off. Like you just realize that you can make an impact, a positive impact, and it really makes it just about them. Like it's not about me or any of us at Pitt in the first place. It's about the kids, and seeing people and interacting with people who have dealt with this really makes it personal and really makes you realize, hey, as long as we can just impact a couple people's lives positively with this, it's we're knocking it out of the park.
When you were sitting down talking to your friends about the haircut idea and what would it take, at what point did it take a turn towards, okay, yeah, we can do something charity-wise? And then when you take it to Celeste, what's the initial reaction? And how did you guys, I guess, decide to take it from that little seed that was in your head and grow it into this, let it bloom?
Yeah, so I mean, I give Celeste all the credit for pulling all the weight behind the scenes and doing all the logistical things that need to come together. But in terms of when it turned into something where we could do something positive, charitable, I really give our quarterback Kenny credit, for leading the way with all the NIL stuff he's done, and he just set the standard from the get go. Where like as our team, like we're not going to use this as something that's going to like pull us apart and make us selfish. Like we're going to do good stuff for the community. We're going to try to get Pittsburgh excited about Pittsburgh football, and just put it in a positive light, like in that way. So.
Yeah, and when we say Celeste, it's Celeste Welsh. Her official title is Director of Media Operations and Community Engagement. She's really the overseer of everything Pitt that you want to
Head
do. She's
woman in
everybody's
charge.
boss,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
Is the way pretty much that it works. It would not function without her, is the way
Exactly.
that everything works at Pitt. When you talk about Kenny and you talk about people doing good things with the name, image, likeness, is it a confusing road to navigate, though, and what you can do and what you can't do? And you just set out to try to help people, and you're doing that with Cal's kids and what you're doing here. But is it still tough to kind of navigate the rules and the regulations and everything?
It certainly is, and that's another area as well where the people in our administration pull most of the weight for us in terms of the paperwork and the different things you have to submit to get the clearances you need. So luckily for us, it's pretty easy as student athletes where we just go to Celeste or EJ or anybody in our compliance department and say like, hey, is this something we can do? And they look through it and give us a yes or a no. So they keep it pretty simple for us, which is nice.
Pitt long snapper Cal Adomitis with us here on the Fan Morning Show. What's the reaction been like in the locker room? I mean, is it playful and you're having fun kidding around when you see Kenny, does a video for, the restaurant on top of the Oaklander, or, you see him going around and getting these NIL deals? Is it playful, like we're going to bust his chops about this? Or do you get a sense sometimes, and you're an older leader in the locker room, I would imagine, get a sense that a younger guy's looking at him like, man, why don't I have that? And you got to pull him aside and say, all right, cool, you're Jets.
Well, I think the overarching kind of vibe that we had in the locker room regarding it is just since, Kenny and some of the older guys have taken the initiative to really try to help other teammates with it, with his dinners at the Oaklander with the linemen, like bringing other guys along with it. I think the response has been overwhelmingly positive, and it's just set the standard so that, obviously younger guys and who are getting on the field for the first time want to have these opportunities in the future, but it just sets the standard that they're going to bring the younger guys along when it's their time, and it's not going to, like I said, be something that there's, disdain between teammates being like, well, why is he, getting a car and a free meal and I'm not? It's like we're sharing the love in the locker room.
Does a long snapper qualify for those offensive lineman meals?
Unfortunately, I do not. But
oh, come on, Kenny! Come on, Kenny!
It's all good. He keeps scoring touchdowns. We'll keep punting them high and far and making field goals. I'm all good with it.
Now, we talked to Coach Narduzzi about this, and we talk to him a couple times a year. We talk to him actually a bunch. But he's talked about, you see UPMC, and you talk to Children's Hospital, it's UPMC Children's. You talk to a lot of the medical facilities and just different things and initiatives that the University of Pittsburgh is involved in. And he talks about a sense of responsibility as a student athlete at Pitt. Do you feel that? And do you feel like kind of whenever you became an older student athlete, the light bulb went off like, yeah, I can make a difference, and there is a sense of responsibility more so than going out and playing football on Saturday afternoons?
Absolutely, and that's one of the best realizations I had during my time at Pitt is that, no matter where you come from or, what position you play, someone's helped you along the way. And I think kind of once you really have that realization, it also just, the light bulb goes off, and you're like, I need to in some way kind of return the favor and help someone out along the way. And as a student athlete, now in the new framework with the NIL, there's so many opportunities to do that. And Children's Hospital Pittsburgh is just like, it's something I feel like all Pittsburghers unite behind and want to support. So it was just an easy choice for something that we knew we could really get people excited about.
A wonderfully selfless thing Cal Adomitis, Pitt long snapper, is doing to help raise money for the Children's Hospital Foundation. Let's make it about you for just a second, though. Where's Cal Adomitis go after this year? And when do you realize, man, I might have a future throwing a football back between my legs at the next level?
I just love playing football first and foremost. And then, I wasn't a super highly recruited guy out of high school. I was blessed to have the opportunity to walk on at Pitt and long snap and found my area of expertise there. But I'm trying to play football as long as possible. Obviously, there's a lot of moving parts as a long snapper, not a ton of, openings each year for long snappers. But I'm going to keep at it and I just hope to be playing football this time next year.
The long snappers get invited to the combine?
Usually they bring one, so I'd love to.
Well, be that guy if you can.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
Do you get to, well, you're the long snapper, and you're not, see, this is the thing, when you're a long snapper, you're not included with the offensive linemen, right? They kind of, he's just a long snapper. But then you're stuck hanging out with the punters and the kickers all the time,
they're
right?
Australian now.
Yeah, you can't even understand what the heck they're saying half the time.
So
Kirk's a great dude. I love Kirk.
But you're kind of like shuttled over with guys. And first, they're soccer players. They're not really football players. So you look at them, they're not built like you. So it is. You feel like you're on an island a little bit, or is it weird during games?
We kind of embrace, our role. I think that's the important part about being a specialist. You got to embrace, obviously you're not, banging heads in the trenches with everyone else. But I get my share of that when I'd go over and do some linebacker drills throughout the week just to stay fresh. But you got to embrace your role. You have a specific job and you need to do it at a high level. So, and your teammates, the way you're going to get their respect is by doing your job and doing it very well. So that's all you really care about during the games.
At what point did you realize you were really good at throwing a football backwards between your legs?
Oh man, it's tough. I feel like the first time I was ever told I was good at it was when I was at Pitt's camp, and Coach Powell was like, "Hey, like you got a thing for this," and I was like, "Well, that's good." I'm trying to keep playing football, but I don't know. I really haven't stopped and thought about like about it too much. I just
Right.
enjoy doing it and want to keep doing it. So I really don't want to get a big head at this point.
Well, tell me about this. Just a couple minutes left with Cal Adomitis doing a great thing for Children's Hospital. There was obviously all the publicity after the Miami game a couple years ago when Kenny had that really good game against Miami. It sort of seemed like a coming out party. Then it kind of went up and down and up and down, and now he's just riding a high. How much did you guys believe, and you've been with him kind of this whole time, how much did you believe this was there for him to produce at this high level, this many games in a row, and be a national player like this?
I mean, it's something that was evident would happen just through his work ethic. He's a dude who just literally every single day since being at Pitt that I've been there, he early enrolled, so he was there a semester before me, but every day I've been at Pitt with Kenny Pickett, the dude has had an unmatched work ethic, and he's just the type of guy, like nobody deserves it more than him, because one thing I've seen firsthand is just like how much pressure they put on young athletes in college, and he's handled it, hasn't missed a step, and I mean I'm just so happy, like everyone's just so happy for him because he deserves it. He's gonna keep doing great. I mean, he's just playing ball. That's what he does, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
What's the ceiling for you guys this year? The schedule doesn't soften up at all after the bye, that's for sure.
I mean, one of the things we've talked a ton about this offseason is just really believing that this ACC championship is ours to win, and that's what we're going for, and we're gonna win that ACC championship and take it from there. That's our first step, though. So
We'll blast it out. We'll get it out there. Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh Foundation, Cal's Kids. This is incredible. And just so you know, I mean, from everybody, not every kid your age does this. Not every person your age, not every person that's 50 years old does this and has the initiative to do this. It's a very special thing that you're doing. To be selfless like this is something a lot of people are going to rally around. And thank you from everyone. And we're here arm in arm with you on this initiative, Cal. It's a great thing you're doing. It
so
truly
much,
is, man. It really is. We'll blast it out on social media. We'll get it out to everybody. Be sure to help out if you can. It is a special endeavor. It truly is. Cal Adomitis, you just heard him right there. He's helping a lot of kids with cancer, and he needs your help as well.